What's up, everybody? This is Reverend Guns, and today we are going to be taking apart and cleaning a Smith & Wesson M&P40. So the first thing we want to do is make sure it is safety checked and cleared. So what we're going to do is, right behind the trigger here, there's a button. We're going to press that, and that causes the magazine to release. We don't want any cleaners or solvents on this, so we're going to set this aside while we do our cleaning. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to pull back the slide, and this lever right here is going to lock it into place. This one right here. Push it up. Now we can look down into the barrel and make sure nothing is in there. See that? Alright, so now that we've got this empty and clear, it is safe to work on. What you'll do is, well, I could have left it in the lock back position. So put it back, lock the slide up, and there's a little lever right here that you push downward like that, and it'll only do it when it's locked back there. You can see the little cutout in the slide itself. Now you can release the slide, and you need to pull the trigger to unlock it. Boom. Okay, now you slide it off. We've got the frame to clean. We've got the guide rod and spring to clean. The barrel to clean. And the slide. I'm going to go ahead and spray these down. And let these soak for a minute. And let me explain everything I've got sitting here. You saw me use gun cleaner. It's all on preference. Any gun cleaner is going to work. Everybody has their own opinion on what works best. Choose what you like. Try them out and see what works good for you. I've got a soft bristle brush. It's got a little detail end on the end of it to help get in the small areas. I've got a harder bristle brush. This is going to help with real stubborn carbon, but if you have a good cleaner like what I'm using, this soft bristle brush is more than enough for cleaning your pistol. I don't use the metal or the brass because I don't want to scratch or scrape or mark anything on the bluing or on the polymer frame, so I just stick with the soft bristle brush. I have a 40 cal barrel brush. We'll use that to clean the inside of the barrel. We're not going to need the screwdriver. I've got a slotted cleaning rod. This will help finish cleaning the barrel. I have gun oil. We'll use that to lube. I've got a rag that I use just for gun oil to help spread it, and it's not contaminated with anything else. I have patches, which will help clean the inside of the barrel. Q-tips sometimes come in handy. And then I have some rags here to help wipe things off as we go. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the barrel because this is kind of the only thing that matters a little bit on how you do it. So we're going to take our barrel brush, and you want to go in from the back. Yes, that means two things. And you want to make sure you push it all the way through and come back. The reason why I don't go in from the muzzle end is because I don't want to chip, ding, or damage the end of this in any way. It'll affect your accuracy and could cause problems down the road. So to prevent that, we're going to go in from the chamber side and make sure you go all the way through and just start scrubbing. you'll feel it get a little smoother, a little easier. You're just breaking up any of the carbon and stuff that's in there. We're just breaking it free. We'll wipe it out here in a minute. And get that feeding ramp a little bit too. Not going to hurt it. Okay, now we'll take our soft bristle brush and we'll go over all of it. Break free any dirt, carbon, anything on here. Alright, now that we've gone over it, let's get some patches. And I do 2 or 3 at a time because it is a bigger barrel, and we want to make sure we get a nice tight fit into the barrel to give it a nice wipe down as we're pulling it through. So this, I grab 3 here. And again, you want to go in from the back and go all the way through. Come out the front, come all the way through. You want to do that a few times. Okay, when we look at this, you can see all the black on there. That's all the crud we're trying to dig out of there. So we will know when we're finished when it's mostly gray. It'll never be white, but we're just looking to get rid of all the black stuff on there. Nothing black is ever good. So grab a couple more, feed it through, going from the back, and depending on how many rounds you fired will kind of depend on how dirty this gets. So we may only have to do this a couple times. We may have to do this several times, depending on how many rounds you fired. So let's pull that off. Take a look again. It's looking a lot better. So we're going to do that one more time, just for good measure, and make sure it's clean. Slide it through the hole. I might have grabbed 4. That's okay. Tighter is better, right? Stick it through. All right. Looks like we've got a pretty clean barrel there. So we'll call that done and give this a wipe off. You're wiping off any cleaner and the residue you just brushed off. Oh yeah, looks good. Now let's go with the guide rod and spring. The idea is just kind of get whatever's in the spring out. You can use a little detail in if you want. It kind of gets in the spring a little easier. Get the ends good. And we'll go ahead and wipe this off. Alright, let's move on to the slide. The idea is to break everything loose. Get in those slide rails real good. You don't want stuff in there that could cause it to prevent its action from happening. Just get everywhere you can. And do the outside too. It gets dirty as well. Get around the sides real good. Make sure you get the extractor real good. Alright, that's looking good. Let's give this a wipe off. Just get your finger in there and wipe off all the cleaner and stuff we just broke free, like carbon and dirt. Might have to fold it a little bit to get down in the little smaller areas, but you want to get all that stuff wiped out. There we go. That's looking a lot better already. And we got the frame. You want to make sure you get the guide rails, the slide rails real good. around the magazine release good. Don't want that sticking there hanging up. Alright. Got that all brushed off. We're going to wipe it off. Just kind of dig your fingers and everything, get everything wiped off. If you got smaller hands, this might be a little easier. Get down the mag well. Make sure you wipe off the slide rails real good. Everything you just broke free, you want to break off or wipe off. All right, time for some lube. I grab my towel, I use only for gun oil, and I'll smear a little bit on there. Really doesn't matter how much you put on there, it's all up to you. I'm going to start with the barrel, and what you're looking for here is rub marks or wear marks or scratches. You can really see them on the top of the barrel here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the barrel, since it's internal, I pretty much get the whole thing. The whole shaft needs it. The top, usually towards the front of the top, or just past the 40 S&W sign. I'll get the sides. It likes to rub there a lot. You'll see some marks there. And then personally, I put a little dab on the feeding ramp just so it can help with it loading. The guide rod, the idea is to get the oil on the rod itself, but it's a little difficult to do, so just kind of force it in there a little bit, and that'll allow the spring to move freely on the rod itself. That's pretty much all your oil on that. The slide. Again, you're looking for any wear marks. Usually you'll see them towards the back here, sometimes towards the front. You usually see them kind of towards the back of the slide, on the sides. Anywhere you see a scratch or a scrape or something, there's contact. So you want to make sure there's oil there. And you also want to make sure you hit the slide rails. That needs to be lubed. And then the slide itself on the bottom there. And that's pretty much all you're looking for, is just anywhere it scrapes is where you want oil. I'm not going to put any on the extractor because oil attracts dirt and dust, and we don't need it to malfunction this extractor from removing cartridges. So we'll leave that be. And then on the frame, we're looking again for scratches. You typically see them on the slide rails. So we're going to make sure we get that real good. Top of the slide rails. I mean, if you want, you can put some kind of where the slide sits. It's not going to hurt it. But the idea is to keep this as minimal as possible as putting oil on, so it doesn't have the opportunity to gather a lot of dirt and dust. So the last thing to do would be to put it together. We're going to start with the slide. I've got the muzzle end to my left here. I want to show you this barrel. If you look closely, you see right here, there's a step. And it's like 2 steps. It's like down, step, down, step. You want this guide rod to sit on the bottom step there. I don't know why it's double stepped, but you want it down as far as it'll go. So with the steps facing upward, you just stick the barrel in the hole where the barrel goes and seat it backward. No effort needed. The guide rod has a little black end and a silver end. The little black end goes right here below the barrel. Okay, it only fits that way. The silver end is a bigger piece and holds against the barrel itself. So it's going to go in just below the barrel like that. And then you've got to compress it with your finger and push it all the way down. And it should look like that. Nice and level with the frame or of the slide. And you can see how that fits in there. Last thing to do is put the slide back on. If you look on the back of the slide, there's 2 little grooves right there. That's your slide rail. So you want to find your slide rail beginning here on the frame. Line those up. Push it back. And you're going to push this back all the way and lock it back again. So get it back there and lock it back. Now you've got that lever we brought down earlier. We're now going to push it up. And that allows us to have the slide seated back on the frame. So, kind of test it. Everything seems to be working. So that just leaves our final wipe down. I grab a clean rag for this and just go over everything. Give it a nice little polish. And there you have it. We just took apart, cleaned, oiled, and put back together a Smith & Wesson M&P40. I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I also offer the online course to get your Texas license to carry a handgun. It's the 4-hour class broken down into segments and saves your progress so you can do it at your own pace. After completing the course, you will be able to print your certificate. Then, it'll help you locate an instructor close to you, no matter where you are in Texas, so you can complete the shooting portion of the course. This is all certified by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Check it out at reverendguns.com. If you have any questions or comments, please add them below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more firearms education.